Today we're counting down the 10 most hated NFL players of all time. From dirty hits on the field to drama off of it, these players became villains for different reasons. But before I continue, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications for our channel, as this helps us grow. All done? Let's get into it. I just find Greg Hardy's story real grim. Hardy was a dominant defensive end with the Carolina Panthers, earning Pro Bowl honors in 2013 after recording 15 sacks. However, in 2014, Hardy was arrested and charged with assaulting his ex-girlfriend, Nicole Holder. When I read about it for the first time, I was absolutely shocked. Although Hardy was initially found guilty and sentenced to probation, the charges were later dropped after Holder failed to appear in court to testify. Hardy was placed on the commissioner's exempt list and missed almost the entire 2014 season. The Panthers decided to part ways with him, and many assumed that Hardy's NFL career was over. However, the Dallas Cowboys signed him to a one-year deal in 2015. I just don't think it was a smart move for Dallas. Hardy had shouting matches with coaches and arrived late to practice. After a lackluster season, the Cowboys opted not to re-sign him, and Hardy's NFL career was effectively over. Next up is Antonio Brown, a player who went from being one of the best wide receivers in the league to one of the most controversial figures. After a series of disputes with the Steelers, which included everything from locker room arguments to missing practices, Brown was traded to the Oakland Raiders. But that didn't improve his temper one bit. Between freezing his feet in a cryotherapy chamber, refusing to wear an approved helmet, he eventually got into a public feud with general manager Mike Mayock. That's exactly when Raiders had enough and released him, and for good. Brown's off-field issues were about to catch up with him, and he was facing allegations of sexual assault. It seemed to me like his NFL career was over, but Brown managed to find another opportunity with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He even helped them win a Super Bowl, catching 5 passes for 22 yards and a touchdown in the big game. But the drama was never far behind. I remember during the 2021 season, Brown left the field mid-game, stripping off his jersey and storming to the locker room. The incident was one of the most bizarre exits that I've seen in the NFL, and effectively marked the end of his time in Tampa Bay. Vontaze Burfict, known for his aggressive, reckless, and often downright dangerous playing style, Burfict became notorious for delivering illegal hits. Throughout his career, Burfict was fined over 20 times, racking up more than $5.3 million in fines. That's more than most players make in a year. His most hated hit, in my opinion, came during the 2016 playoffs when he delivered a brutal helmet-to-helmet hit on Antonio Brown. The contact was so vicious that it knocked Brown out of the game and cost Burfict a 3-game suspension. I think it was absolutely stupid and unnecessary. His penalty allowed the Steelers to move down the field and kick the game-winning field goal, knocking Cincinnati out of the playoffs. So was the hit worth it? But there is more. I think around 2017, he was fined $12,154 for kicking a player. The following year, he received another suspension for a hit on Steelers fullback Roosevelt Nix. By 2019, Burfict was on thin ice with the league, and after a vicious helmet-to-helmet hit on Colts tight end Jack Doyle, he was suspended for the remainder of the season. It was the longest suspension for an on-field act in NFL history. In 2020, after the suspension ran out, he became a free agent and has yet to sign with a club or publicly say he's retired. But I don't think he's coming back to the NFL because no team needs such an uncontrollable player. Remember when Johnny Manziel was supposed to be the next big thing? The charismatic quarterback from Texas A&M took college football by storm, winning the Heisman Trophy as a freshman and electrifying fans with his playmaking abilities. Even I was betting on him to be the first pick. During his first 2 seasons with the Browns, Manziel's behavior was a constant headache for the organization. Reports emerged of him being spotted at clubs late at night, even on the eve of games. He missed team meetings, showing up late to practice, and failed to grasp the complexities of the Browns playbook. Former Browns lineman Joe Thomas once said that Manziel's behavior showed he didn't take his role as a professional athlete seriously. He was eventually cut by the Browns, and his brief stint in the NFL came to an end. Manziel attempted a comeback through various other leagues, including the CFL and the short-lived AAF. but he never recaptured the magic that made him a star in college. I just think he lost it all in the clubs. I think Ndamukong Suh is easily one of the most dominant defensive linemen of the past decade. Drafted second overall by the Detroit Lions in 2010, Suh immediately made an impact on the field, winning the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year award. But it didn't take long for his reputation as a dirty player to emerge. Suh's career has been marked by a series of on-field incidents that have earned him over $600,000 in fines. In 2011, during a Thanksgiving Day game, he infamously stomped on the arm of Green Bay Packers lineman Evan Dietrich Smith, leading to a 2-game suspension. I could barely watch the replays of that. This wasn't a one-off incident either. Over the years, Suh has been involved in numerous controversial plays, including stepping on Aaron Rodgers' leg, kicking Matt Schaub, and even using his helmet as a weapon against opponents. While some defenders play with an edge, I just think Suh lost it way too many times. Despite winning a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he's one of the dirtiest players on my list. Terrell Owens is really tricky for me. I love his fire and love of the game, but he used to say some wild stuff. I remember his famous feud with Donovan McNabb during his time with the Eagles. Owens openly criticized McNabb, accusing him of choking in big games and even hinting that the Eagles' struggles were due to McNabb's lack of fitness. The feud got so bad that the Eagles suspended Owens and later released him, even though he was still playing at a high level. And his celebrations, remember those? From mocking Ray Lewis's dance to pulling out a Sharpie to sign a football, T.O. knew how to entertain, but he also knew how to get under the skin of his opponents and fans. Despite his undeniable talent and career stats that rank among the best in NFL history, Owens' outspoken personality and frequent clashes with teammates led to him being released by multiple teams. Even in retirement, he continues to make headlines with his opinions on the game, and I think he's still as polarizing as ever. I guess Richie Incognito's name became synonymous with bullying after the 2013 scandal involving Miami Dolphins teammate Jonathan Martin. Martin alleged that Incognito, along with other teammates, had harassed him with racial slurs, threats, and relentless verbal abuse. The investigation revealed disturbing details about the team's environment, leading to Incognito's suspension and significant public backlash. However, the bullying scandal was just one of many issues that Incognito faced throughout his career. Known for his aggressive playstyle, Incognito was frequently penalized for unnecessary roughness and had a reputation for losing his temper on the field. I think teams continue to sign him despite these concerns because of his godlike skills as a blocker. After a brief break, Incognito returned to the league, playing for the Buffalo Bills and later the Las Vegas Raiders. But I'll still remember him as the big bully. I can't make this list without Tom Brady at the top. Love him or hate him, you can't ignore him. Like the Spygate scandal, where the Patriots were caught videotaping the New York Jets' defensive signals, led many to question the integrity of the team's success. Everyone hated Brady during that time. Then came Deflategate, where Brady was accused of orchestrating the deflation of footballs during the AFC Championship game against the Indianapolis Colts. After a lengthy investigation, Brady was suspended for 4 games, but he denied any wrongdoing. Although he returned and led the Patriots to another Super Bowl victory, for fans of other teams, it was an opportunity to see the Golden Boy finally get his justice served. Even though I love Brady's almost robotic commitment to winning, he definitely has a dark side. Deshaun Watson's career was on a superstar trajectory until legal troubles took over the headlines. Watson was accused by over 24 women of sexual misconduct, which led to a lengthy legal battle and a suspension by the NFL. While these accusations led to a significant investigation, Watson maintained his innocence and a settlement was reached with many of the accusers. However, the Cleveland Browns signed him to a massive, fully guaranteed $230 million contract, sparking even more outrage. I just don't think Watson deserved another opportunity, and the Browns' decision was just a desperate move that undermined the league's stance on personal conduct. Even as he attempts to rebuild his career, the cloud of his past controversies lingers, making him one of the most disliked figures in the league. And I don't think the Browns are seeing the benefits as well. Rounding out our list is Eli Apple, who has managed to make enemies at almost every stop in his career. I remember he was even called a cancer by one of his own teammates, but don't quote me on that. After being traded to the New Orleans Saints and then bouncing around the league, Apple's reputation didn't improve much. Known for trash-talking opponents on social media, Apple's brash personality often makes him a target, especially when his play doesn't back up his words. After joining the Cincinnati Bengals, Apple found himself on a larger stage, and his performance during the playoff run to the Super Bowl brought even more attention. Unfortunately for Apple, he was burned by Cooper Kupp for the game-winning touchdown, and fans from all over the league piled on, mocking him for his poor performance. But it wasn't just his play that made people dislike him. His tendency to take shots at other players and teams on Twitter turned him into a meme, and when he posted a tweet that was perceived as insensitive towards Damar Hamlin's recovery, it led to widespread condemnation. Apple claimed he had no ill intentions, but for many, it was just another example of his poor judgment. His trash-talking ways and inconsistent performances have made him one of the most disliked players in the league. Who do you think should have made the list? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our latest videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.